Pandorum from 2009 is directed by Christian Alvrat and stars Dennis Quaid, Ben Foster, and RNG Trow. That is a hard name for me to say. Years into the future, as life on Earth is beginning to die, with signs of life on Tanis, a large spaceship called the Elysium, not that movie, is carrying a large passenger base to begin settlement on Tanis. When Bauer, played by Ben Foster, wakes up unexpectedly from cryo, things seem to have gone awry upon the ship. When Peyton, played by Dennis Quaid, wakes up as well, they begin to try to figure out what's going on until they stumble across the extreme horrors on the ship. Pandorum is one of those movies that's been on my watch list pretty much since it came out. For some reason or another, I didn't get to catch this one in theaters, maybe because of its poor box office performance. My local theater didn't keep it long, but it's one of them that's just always kind of been lingering around my orbit of my watch list ever since. I've heard good things about the movie despite its low critical reception. I remember finding a Blu-ray somewhere for cheap. I can't really remember where exactly, but it was pretty cheap and it's been sitting on my shelves pretty much ever since. Well, after watching it, I had a really good time with this one despite some glaring issues I have with the film. First off, I love the look of the film. Everything here visually just works really well. From the great set designs to costumes, the maze of the ship, that really did leave a pit in my stomach whenever the crew would turn the corner, as you had no idea what would be around that corner. The lighting absolutely helps cement the tone of the film. The choice to just use flashlights or glow sticks as the source of light not only looks amazing, but drowns the film in a darkness that makes you nervous as the crew dives deeper into the ship. The frantic and energetic cinematography helps build a sense of claustrophobia and distortion, but without a doubt the best and most stunning part of the production is the villains in the film. I don't want to spoil the film, but what is happening on the ship is a genuine threat, and every time they're on screen, it sends a rush of adrenaline through you because not only is it insanely well designed with great makeup and costumes, but also because of just how savage they are, it feels like a real danger on screen. I personally think Ben Foster and Dennis Quaid do amazing jobs here. Dennis Quaid, in a way, kind of feels like a Harrison Ford performance, but I will say that RNG Trow was absolutely terrible throughout the entire time she was on screen. She had no emotions, every line of dialogue was stiff and felt like she was just reading off the page. She had no chemistry with Ben Foster on the screen, which really hurts the climax of the film in my opinion. Even when it comes down to the action set pieces, I felt like the quick cutting and jarry camera work was more or less here just to help cover up what felt like really stiff choreography, despite her character being like the femme fatale of the film. Another thing I really loved about the film was the sound design. The music is mostly forgettable, and yes, they do the loud noise thing scares you, but they also play with the sound design to set up the atmosphere in the ship and the villains of the ship that sound fierce and realistic considering, you know, space horror movie. My biggest complaint comes from the ending twist of the film. You could see it coming from a mile away, and I was really hoping they wouldn't go there with it, but guess what? They did, and I think it honestly takes a lot away from the plot. The film does such a great job at its exposition by giving the characters some cryo memory lapses, putting you, the audience, in the same seat as the characters. The film does a great job of slow dripping you information because you learn it with the characters, and the same goes for the big exposition dumps. That works great to set up the big plot twist. However, when the actual plot twist happens, I feel like there's a disconnect with the characters that takes them from learning organically in the environment to now just being plot devices for the film to reach its climax, without it really feeling like a natural progression of the characters or the story. The film does a lot of great things here, and we honestly don't get to see a lot of films like this where you get to have a great blend of horror, sci-fi, and action, and it all actually kind of comes together. I just wish the film had a stronger ending, but I'd definitely be down to give this one another watch, and I could easily see this one pop up in my horror rotation, and I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. It could go up on a second watch. I doubt it would go down, but a 6 out of 10.